Welcome to Chalk Talk, Danville Public Schools Weekly News Magazine. I'm Diane Locker, your host. We've got a really exciting show for you this week because there's a whole new event that's starting here in our area. I have Jackie Rochford with me. She is the coordinator of our career and technical education, and we're here to talk about a career event. Now, Jackie, this is the Career Choice event. What is meant by that?
Well, it's really a career expo, but career choice, we kind of focus on the ICE part of that choice.
Okay, and I know what that is.
You go ahead and tell them that.
All right. It's imagine your potential, connect with employers, and explore career possibilities.
Exactly.
Now, the thing that is so neat about this is you kind of look, we've got Galileo and George Washington High School that's going to be here today.
Correct.
Now, it's my understanding that you look at what you like to do, you take what you like to do, and they've got it worked out to where they're going to look at your capabilities, what you like, and kind of match you up with a career.
Well, yeah, more or less, but actually this is a lot of exploration. What we have is 5 work zones, if you don't mind, and what's happening is they'll go into work zone 1, and there'll be, anywhere from 10 to 15 different activities going on. This is very activity-based. It's not the kind of thing where a student will come in and talk to someone who is a banker or a trucker about what they're doing. They're going to be involved in an activity. They may work a bobcat. They may work a variety of things.
So actually, let's say the banker. We're not going to talk about or read about being a banker. We're going to experience what a banker might be doing.
They're working on a little computer program and a little bit of working some finance kind of program on a computer, so they actually get a chance to go in and work something. I saw that one.
Now, this is the first time this event has been done here in this area. Tell me a little bit about where it came from and where the idea came from. And I think we've got a lot of really good sponsors, too.
Yes, we do. It kind of started, I think, through the Chamber of Commerce. They contacted the career and technical education coordinators in the area and said, there is this outstanding career day in Mobile, Alabama. Would you like to go and view it? So we went last year, just about a year ago, and viewed it there, and it was awesome. Very activity-oriented. They bring their 8th graders through, and we came back, and they said, do you want to do it? And we said, yes.
So this is the first time. Now, I want to look at a sheet here that talks about some of these sponsors. I couldn't remember them all, but it was really impressive how the community has turned out to support this. We've got the Danville Regional Foundation, the Institute, PATHS, Averett, Danville Public Schools, Danville Regional, Centra. Also, a lot of these sponsors are the employers in there that have set up activities for the students.
That's correct. And we have many more employers than that are involved. But we have some sponsors who have either given donations because it costs a lot of money to actually operate this, or they are people who are like the school systems where our money's in through the transportation end of it and that kind of thing. So we end up being the sponsors, but we have got a wealth of businesses here who have come in, and they're not just representing their business. This is oriented around career clusters. So the health cluster, while there's different businesses there, Danville Regional, Centra, Pathways to name a few, they're also representing a cluster. So they're working together to put an activity together and man an activity where students can see this is what we do there, and they can talk to people.
I think one thing I didn't say at the beginning of the show, we're out in Pittsylvania County at the Ag Center.
That's correct.
Now, this is not just a function for Danville Public Schools. I think there are, 8 school districts involved here?
Yes, we have Patrick County, Henry County, Martinsville City, Pittsylvania County, Danville, and Halifax County.
I think what we need to do now is get inside that huge warehouse and see some of the things that are actually going on that we've been talking about.
By all means, it is awesome. The middle schoolers, by the way, were here yesterday, and it was great, and today we have high school 9th graders.
So we're going to be talking to some of the Galileo students and some of the George Washington High School students that are here today.
Correct.
Come on, let's go on in.
All right.
Jackie, they've got off the bus. We just went through what I would call an orientation with Mr. Totten. When they come in now, what's going to happen? I see so many things going on in here. What happens now?
Okay, they're going to come into Zone 1 first of all. And what happens is that once they get in here, the students can split up however they want to, go to the activities they want to participate in.
Now, they know what the activities are and what the zones are because of the sheets that Mr. Totten gave them during orientation. Is that correct?
Exactly. And so they'll come in, they'll take a look at what's happening, they'll filter around. They will have 10 minutes in this zone.
Now, when you say zone 1, I know there are 5 zones. How do the students know, how do they judge what it is that they want to do or the careers they want to look at, or are they going to go through every one of them automatically?
We gave each school a copy of the general areas, health, IT, that were in a work zone so that they could begin to explore careers a little bit before they came here. Now that's the bell. That means that the zones are going to change. And what's going to happen is they're going to clear this group out, and then this next group will come in here, and then they split up for 10 minutes and can go to any activities they want to.
So if I'm following it correctly, this is going to be our George Washington students coming in now when that bell rang, and we're kind of clearing out the Galileo students. They're gone off to another zone.
That's correct.
Okay. Dr. Polhamus, this is such an exciting thing. I feel like I'm at the fair or something. There is so much going on.
Exactly. It is wonderful to see the young people getting interested in so many different things here. The options that these employers have brought out to the Ag Center above Chatham is just amazing in all the career fields that are covered. And to see our young people from Danville Public Schools get all excited about possibilities for their future is just superb. That's one thing we've got to continuously work on in DPS.
Well, I think yesterday we had our middle schools, Bonner and Westwood, and today we've got Galileo and George Washington High School. Mm-hmm. The thing that impresses me is what they've impressed on these students is to look at what you enjoy doing. Even as adults, sometimes we didn't think that way about work. And they're giving them the opportunity to take their talents, the things they enjoy doing, and turn them into a job.
Precisely. It's something that the young people need. They need to understand that there are worlds of options out there for them. And if they can have at least a general idea of a career area that might capture their interest, then they can focus a little more in their education on getting prepared for it.
I think a lot of times in education we talk about careers, we read about careers, but what's different here is these employers that we're going to get around and see, they're actually experiencing the career. They're not reading about it, they're getting involved in it.
Exactly. I've been up in the stands watching, and there are some nifty hands-on experiences for the young people.
Well, what we're going to do right now is get out there and see some of those. Thanks for talking to me.
Excellent. My pleasure. Glad you're here.
Okay.
That's okay.
Phil, you're with Dominion Power.
Yes, ma'am.
And I see you've got your truck here, and you've got some electrical wire type things.
This is a simulator trailer that is used to simulate what the lines look like out on the road.
Now, you're over here looking, and what is it that you're doing with these gloves?
Engineering? Is that right?
The gloves are what we use to protect us from energized lines. So these gloves are rubber gloves that keep us safe from 15,000 volts. So we can go up in the bucket truck and put our hands on 15,000 volts. And the kids are just trying to get the nuts on these bolts. And we're just showing them how
like, and you can't drop or else you got to climb all the way back down a ladder. Like,
the neat thing is that you're giving them actual experiences.
yeah.
I told her not to drop it because she'd have to climb back down the pole if she dropped the nut.
How are you finding the interest from the students when they come through here?
It's varied. I mean, some have no interest and some are really interested.
Those that are interested, you're giving them that little spark that if this is what you want to do, this is what it's going to be like.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Thank
I think
you.
it's a great experience.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, lady.
You're welcome.
I have two young ladies here that have, time to change. Two young ladies here that are at the, I would say, cosmetology table. And why are you here?
Because I want to learn stuff.
Have you ever had the opportunity to actually try it, or is this the first time?
This is my first time.
What do you think of this?
Oh, I like cosmetology. I'm very interested in it.
Have you ever had the opportunity to do what you're doing now?
Yes, ma'am. My sister is a hairdresser, and so
Okay.
I've been watching her mostly all my life.
What do you think of this type of activity, though?
I really like it. I think it really helps children.
My mother, she used to do hair. She do hair all the time, and she works at a salon.
Thanks for talking to me. This is the K-9 unit, isn't it, Jackie? It's
That's right.
obviously popular with the students.
Yes, it is. And you're seeing here that that the dog has just been amazing. He is so happy to be active, and he's been showing the kids what they're doing. And you see, he goes up there, and they'll show him later what they do to train them.
I'm going to go over there and talk to that dog.
I'm sure he'll answer you.
Hi,
Hi. You're with the Sheriff's Department?
I'm with Henry County Sheriff's Office. I'm Sergeant Ball.
Sergeant Ball. Sergeant Ball, I've got to meet this wonderful dog here. What's his name?
This is Thor.
Thor?
Yes, he's a
Hey, Thor.
5-year-old German Shepherd.
Now, I saw a huge group of children around him. It's been very popular, hasn't it?
Yes, he seems to attract quite a crowd every time we change groups. Everybody wants to come see the dog.
Now, what do you do? What are you doing here to show the students that this is a possible career?
I'm just kind of explaining what we do both as a sheriff's deputy and specifically a canine handler, and how we work the dog and what the dog is used for.
Let me see here a minute. Thor? Hey, Thor. You know what? I think he's more interested in that than being on television.
Yeah, I believe he is. He works for his toy, so since he has his toy, he's happy as can be. And that's his goal when we do the training. For the most part, they think everything is a big game, and so even if he's apprehending a criminal, he thinks he's going after a giant chew toy. So it's not that the dogs are mean, as you could see by all the kids around him and petting him.
I was amazed at that.
They just think it's all one big game.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, they are learning how to do artificial, is that what you call it, artificial respiration?
Right. Well, they're actually doing the compressions. We're not doing the respirations because of the time it will take to clean the mouth between each patient. So we're just letting them see what it feels like to do compressions. 100 compressions in 1 minute on the mannequin to see what we go through on the back of the truck on a full arrest call.
How much interest are you finding from the students?
A lot of interest, believe it or not. A lot of interest from the kids doing the demonstration on the CPR. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, I would imagine that just the truck alone would draw people, would draw the students. Are you finding students that actually think this could be a career for them?
Yes, ma'am. And actually, we had a few that wanted to walk through the truck yesterday, and we got it inside the building, and they've been taking tours inside of the transport. Yes, ma'am.
That's great. It's wonderful that you're here to give them this experience.
Yes, and a lot of them still interested in knowing this is a volunteer, non-paid job, that they're still quite interested in the EMS side. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think EMS is something that they've seen, they know, probably understand, and in some cases it may be a very good paying job in the future.
Let's hope so.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
This is the first ever career event. What do you think of it? Have you been here long enough that you've been able to walk around and see something?
Not yet. We've only been to one station.
What station did you go to?
Cosmetology.
And how did you like it?
It was fun.
Now, it gave you the actual chance to actually work. I went over there for a few minutes, and they were like doing hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It gives you a real experience. Now, what about you? Did you go to cosmetology or something else?
I went to cosmetology.
What did you think of that?
It was nice.
Where are you going now?
I'm not sure.
What about you? Where are you going now?
Goodyear. I'm going to see what they do over there.
Okay. You better get going.
Okay.
Thanks. Screen. Mr. Jackson, how many students do we have here from George Washington High School today?
We have 298 students here from George Washington High School.
Now, I just talked to 2 students, and they said they were 9th graders. Is it only 9th graders here today?
Yes, only 9th graders.
What do you think of the opportunity that they're being given today?
It's a great opportunity for our students when they get a chance to see as many career clusters as is being presented here today. It gives them a different avenue and interest when they look for their careers in life.
I think also the very important thing is you said there were ninth graders here, and you might say, why ninth graders in careers? It's never too early to start thinking about what you're going to do. And it's my understanding as they go through here, they're learning what the requirements in school are in order to do some of these careers.
That is absolutely correct. When kids know what path they want to be on in life, then they tend to structure their instructions towards those career paths. And the earlier they make the decision, it's better for them academically because they can take the necessary requirements they need to obtain that career goal that they're looking for.
When I was talking with Dr. Paul Hamus earlier, I said to him, and I'll say the same thing to you, in the past we have kind of read about careers, talked about careers, but this is actually getting involved in these careers.
Yes, anytime our students have an opportunity to have hands-on experiences, it brings their dreams to reality when they can see what they want to do, how to do it, and what they can become. It's a whole lot different seeing it in a magazine, reading it, but then when you see it and participate in it in real life, it gives you a sense of, hey, I really can accomplish that.
I can do it.
I can do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
4 ninth graders from Galileo Magnet High School, and you have had the opportunity. You've been here long enough that you've been through several of the stations. So I'm going to go around and ask you what you saw and what you've liked best so far. How about we'll start with you?
The engineering.
And when you say engineering, what do you mean? How did you experience that?
Like what they do and stuff. It's kind of amazing.
Now, what company was that?
I'm not sure.
Now, what about you?
I'd have to say the speech-language pathology. It's very scientific and creative, innovative even.
What was it like to experience it?
It was amazing how high-tech it was.
Now, what company were you with when you found that out?
I don't remember the company off the top of my head, but I know they had a machine like you could just say a word and then it like match it up, and you could make sentences out of like a machine.
It's a nice experience to get. What about you? What have you liked best so far?
Well, I've liked the way they did this stuff, and when I become old, I want to do medicine. So, and I liked how they did this thingy, like how you pressure stuff.
I saw them doing the artificial respiration.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, and it's kind of good. I mean, I just want to help people in the future, and that's what I want to do.
What was it like to experience it rather than just to read about it or talk about it?
It's really cool. I mean, how you do that, it's kind of like a good experience. Like you can like see what you're gonna do in future and stuff like that.
That's cool. Now, how about you?
I like to see all the different jobs, and there are a bunch of jobs here, and there's like, so like.
Did you run into one that you like better than the others?
Well,
that you could maybe see yourself doing in the future?
I did like seeing the theater and all that. I do like theater.
Okay. Are you a future actor?
I'm not exactly sure yet, but that could be possibilities.
So all in all, you think it's been a good day?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good day.
It's been a good day.
I agree.
Better than our classes.
Yeah, good experience.
You weren't supposed to say that. All right. Go on. You got another station to go to. Thanks. Jackie, this is a darling little calf. What is this demonstration? This is part of a larger demonstration here.
Under our agriculture area, under dairy, basically, in dairy and the farming industry. So this is representing that.
I love the way with the dog Thor over there and with this calf, the way the students are so drawn to these animals.
It really is amazing because I'm an animal lover, but I kind of think it's neat because, yes, they really are. They love it. We had an animal over
that
at
one
the vet.
is drinking the
bottle. I hadn't seen that before. Isn't that amazing?
That is darling.
You know, our employers have done a great job of really just trying to figure out what activity could we do so that, because you know how kids are, they don't want to come up to an adult and just talk, but they come in here and then they might ask a question and he can answer it.
I've seen the young lady that's feeding the calf now at many of the stations, and she gets totally involved in every station she goes to.
I know it. You know, a lot of our students, they don't know about these careers. So they come in and say, oh gosh, I can do a job related to this. What do I need to do? This is what we wanted them to do. It's just a chance for them to explore. For the ninth graders, it's only 3 years before they start making key decisions about what they're going to do after high school.
I'm tired.
I think the animals have really gotten tired with all the kids' attention. Oh, good. That one was kind of shy before. He's coming over. Look. Yeah, I'm an animal person. Okay.
We have Ann Holton, the Secretary of Education here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, who's made a visit to us today. What do you think of this event? I think this is the first we've had of an event like this in Virginia.
Absolutely, it's a great opportunity for young people to learn about all kinds of career options, and young people don't always know what's out there in the way of jobs. So to get them to see it in a hands-on, visible way, talk to people in different industries is just a great opportunity.
We've made the point several times today in talking with people and interviewing people in school. We tend to read about these things and talk about these things, but these students I've talked to today, they're so excited about doing these things.
You can tell the kids are loving it, and they're just racing from station to station, getting to see new things. Kids tend to know, they know what their parents do. They know what teachers do, that they really don't know. I'm just talking to these folks over here, this woman who's a colorist, and she's matching colors for her fiber extruding company. Who knew there was such a job? And she's making good money. She's got a good career. It's an employer right here locally that's got 250 employees. Just to let young people know about these options is a really great thing.
I think we have 8 counties involved here, and probably I think they were up to about 5,000 students that have been through so far, and they have about 2,500 that are coming through the rest of the day. So I think we can call this a success.
Absolutely, and it's a first annual that we hope will be repeated.
Well, we appreciate your support and being here with us today.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. This is a demonstration from DCC?
Correct.
Now, how are you finding the interest in coming here? I noticed the few students I've seen, when you get the noise coming out of him, they kind of jump back like he's real. How has the reception been from the students?
It's been very good. They have really enjoyed learning how to use that ambu bag when he's having shortness of breath and fixing it. And then with the baby, when his mouth turns blue, they've also enjoyed trying to correct the problem and giving him oxygen.
I talked to a student earlier who really wants to go into medicine, and he said this whole day had been so good for him just to be experience things like this.
It is, and they actually have pulses. They have the heartbeat, respirations. You can check blood pressures, abnormal and normal breathing patterns, abnormal, normal heart patterns. So you can change it up. So at the nursing school where I teach at, that's what we do. We do normal then abnormal to see when they can associate the differences and how to correct it.
It's great that you're here, and the students are really enjoying it.
Yeah, every one of them keep coming here saying they've been looking for this one all day.
It's because you got a dead body here.
We're bringing it back to life.
I'm here with a machine that's doing something. I'm not really sure what it is, but I have a gentleman here that's going to help me out. Now, this is from DCC?
Right. This is a robotic arm, an industrial robotic arm. And it's part of our Integrated Systems Associate Degree Technology.
Have you had many students coming by here today?
Yes. We probably had 500 already this morning.
What would the career be in this? I mean, I think it's kind of obvious, but what would the career be, and what are you saying to the students?
Okay, students would learn, or seeing this technology, would learn some of the things in manufacturing that's available today. Programming robots, industrial maintenance, maintaining the machines, analytical skills like troubleshooting and things like that.
That is really, that robotic stuff, that is really high-tech and is really about the future and really about what these students are going to be doing when they get out of school.
That's right. We've had a lot of questions about what this is. They don't understand the technology, and then they think it's cool. It just depends on the students and parents, what the parents have done for a living, But some of them understand it, they grasp it, and they really enjoy it.
If they don't understand it now, the way it's going in the future, they are.
That's exactly right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What kind of interest have you found today in students coming in here to find out what this program is all about?
I found that some of the students, one of the things we're asking is, are they interested in a field in healthcare? Because that is what we are. We actually are just the cardiopulmonary system. We specialize in that. So that's what we have been informing the students about. It is an alternative medical program if you don't want to be a nurse or if you want to go into something other than nursing. It's a specialized field.
They probably, some of them didn't even realize it was available.
No, some of the students had never heard of it, which is one of the reasons why we're here. We're trying to promote our profession because it is a profession that, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is a 19% growth in the next 10 years.
And I think the interesting thing about it is when I was looking over some of the things about this program is they're trying to project jobs that may be available, let's say, in 2020. And what you're saying goes right along with that.
Yes.
It's a growing field is what you're saying.
Yes, we have a 19% growth over the next 10 years. That's a prediction. That is above average growth. So, and the median income for our profession is around $56,000 a year. And starting pay for a new graduate is right around $42,000 a year.
This was a wonderful place for students to find out that information and to plan for the future, and want to thank you for being here and helping the students.
Sure, thank you so much.
So, Julie, this has been obviously a huge success. I have talked with some of the employers involved. I've talked with a lot of the students. I've had students tell me, one in particular said, I want to go into the medical field, and really enjoyed the opportunity on one of the dummies to do artificial respiration. Tell me how all of this came about.
About a year ago, we went to see an event we'd heard about in Alabama where they brought together 10,000 eighth graders from 8 counties to do, hands-on activities led by employers. And we went and took a group of about 8 of us to go see it. And we said, now surely if Southwest Alabama can pull this off, we can do this for our kids. And so that's where the idea came from, and we've been working on it now for a year, planning and getting all the schools on board and working with the employers.
Now, how many students, and this is a 2-day event, this is the last day of the event, how many students have you seen so far?
We've seen about half, so we've seen about 2,500 kids. Those were 7th graders yesterday, and today it's a mix of high school students, 9th and 10th graders, so we expect another 2,500 today. A lot of students coming through.
Now, I talked with mostly high school 9th graders today. I wasn't here to talk with the middle school students. How did the middle school students receive it? Because they're kind of down the line for thinking about careers.
Actually, the 7th graders, we've seen a difference. The 7th graders run to stuff. I mean, flashing lights, and there's dogs over here, and here's some cows, and I can use a hammer, and they just run to stuff. The 9th graders, it's kind of a little more, come on, but once they figure out what's happening, they engage, and they're so excited to be here and talk to other adults besides their parents and their teachers about the jobs and the opportunities.
I think what's really remarkable, too, and we need to say a big, huge thank you to the employers in this community, because they have gone all out. They're not just coming here setting up tables and talking about what they do. We've got trucks, we've got dogs, we've got cows, we've got all kinds of flashing lights, and that's what draws the students.
Right. The employers really stepped up to the plate for us this year. They're volunteering their time. They really put a lot of time into the activities. They designed the activities. We wanted to make sure they were relevant to their company. So again, it's a good way to get them to do something that's related to the job occupation that they're interested in.
You've had a huge success this year. What happens next year?
Next year it's going to be bigger and better. I mean, the employers are already saying, I know what activity I want to do next year, and I'm going to make this better, and I want to do this. So they're excited for next year. We didn't scare them off this year. They're excited for next year.
Want to thank you for coordinating it, getting the people from the school systems into Alabama to see it. Right. And I want to say to everyone out in the community, this is a wonderful example of what our community does for our students. Julie here working to coordinate this, but what we really need to thank are all those sponsors and all of these employers that you've seen during the show. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Be sure to come back, and we'll see if we can find something just as exciting as this career event for you next week.